So I'm here making my dinner. It's going to be another catfish dish, but you don't need to know that. That's the sound in the background. But I was thinking about Danae, and I've heard a lot of people commenting on her interview the other day that she did with that gentleman, which was tacky to me. But you know what? I consider that an infomercial. And to me, that whole conversation, the purpose of the conversation was to advertise her new product. Because we know that she did this before where she had a new product, which was she was trying to tell people that she could bring them to some kind of workshop and they could learn how to live with infidelity or life after infidelity or what have you. So to me, the woman is simply using that particular man's platform to market herself and position herself in the market and let people know, I have a new product for you guys who are wounded, for women that are wounded like me. So what she did was she led with her story. I keep hearing people saying that, oh wow, she put Derek on blast and, it was dangerous. And I heard that from quite a few people. But she didn't put Derek on blast because, truth be told, she told everybody what she did wrong. She spent all of her energy focusing on how outrageous she was and how she was trying so hard to satisfy her boyfriend, her fiance at one point, because she was having physical sex with him before they got married. And so then she starts to explain how she, everyone heard this where she would look at their Instagram pages and she would try to imitate their appearance and so on and so on. And that part of that was done before they got married. So then after they got married, it was another set of, infidelity that she was well aware of. So she tells us her story. She's not telling us all the ins and outs of her husband's experiences and what he did. She tells us in depth just how out of touch with reality she was and how broken and quote unquote she was. So that was her story, and that's the first part of the infomercial. Then she tells you what she did to recover. She explains that she's healed now and she did this program. It was 8 months and this, that, and the other. She showed pictures about, previously how does her testimonial pictures to show just how much she's improved. She's wearing makeup. We see her getting a makeover. And then she goes with the you can do it too. Just join me and you too can get healing. So that's what that was about. Anybody who saw it as a tell-all about her husband is not really paying attention to what she did. She told all about herself. And she's doing it because she wants to develop an income stream based on this new, as I said, product. I'm calling it a product. It's really a service, this new service that she's providing. There is nothing there about her husband. Well, he's not her ex yet. She didn't give us anything much about her husband. I'm still waiting for the juice because she didn't give us any juice about that man. He already let us know, social media let us know that he was cheating on her. He filed for divorce according to him. And there was nothing exciting except the text message that she said he sent her a text and that she responded and he lied and all this stuff. So that was an infomercial. That's the first thing I want to say. That's how I see it. The second thing I want to say is, for all those people who feel sorry for her, you're really crying over the wrong person. This woman has been with this man for a very long time. And she has spent all of her energy, according to what she says, trying to get him to love her. Now, she married a man that she knew was cheating on her regularly. And she says she never brought it to his attention. Okay, so she was willing to tolerate that. And she's gone through the whole relationship knowing that he's cheating on her. And in addition to that, he's the one that, quote, filed for divorce. So she never even stepped away from the marriage in terms of in some kind of permanent way. She says she left him for a few months. Okay, but he's the one that said, I'm filing for divorce from this woman. Now, I don't want to comment on him because who cares? He really and truly could have filed for divorce from her to save face because he looks disgraceful. Because of his brand, he has to show that he's taken a quote. What's that word everyone's using? Accountability. So he goes and says, I'm going to take accountability or else I'm going to lose my fan base and I'm going to go ahead and file for divorce. So that's the second thing. So let's continue to the third point. This woman calls herself a Christian. She was spitting out Bible scriptures and verses against people that she said was, standing against her marriage and speaking against her marriage. That was interesting because her husband was the one causing her all of this problem and all of these problems, but she felt that she needed to yell at everyone else, okay? And if you notice, she does this thing where she looks outside before she looks inside. But anyway, I'm going to continue. So she's yelling scriptures at the public, posting scriptures on her Instagram because in the Christian world, some parts of the Christian world really, really believe that you're able to speak the word to your circumstances and your circumstances are going to change. So it seems like that was a technique that she was using where she's going to speak the word and then her life is going to fall in line with the word. The problem with that is her husband has a free will. He literally can free will to do whatever he wants to do. And so he decided he wanted to commit adultery. And her scripture quoting is not going to change his free will. It doesn't really work that way. We want to believe we can pray somebody in and out, but at the end of the day, they have the free will to do whatever they want to do. You can still pray for them, but they still have the final say on what they decide to do. You can't speak the word over them and then all of a sudden their free will gets violated and they just all of a sudden, they're not robots. So my question to her is, why didn't she speak the word over her own life? Why didn't she apply the word that said, for God so loved the world to herself? The one situation where Christians can divorce is under adultery. And she could have walked away, but she wanted to stay and fight. And what exactly she was fighting for, we don't know, looking on the outside, looking in. We know that narcissistic man, if he is indeed one, which he seems to be one, or men that are manipulative. Let's leave it at manipulative because we're not psychologists, right? They know how to make you smile just long enough to forget the terrible thing that they did. So she was willing to fight for that relationship. But she's supposed to have the word enough in her mind. She's supposed to be renewed in the spirit of her mind by the washing of the water of the word. She was supposed to be able to handle that situation in such a manner that she knows that she's time to step away because it's taking its toll on her. Why wasn't she living the word? That's my question for her. I don't understand with all this scripture, she didn't apply it to herself. So now she goes out, wants to start this new ministry / service and help other people because she's always looking outside. Always looking outside of herself. That woman needs to apply the scripture to her own life and sit in her reality and her truth. And she needs to sit with herself because she has more problems than that one thing she keeps talking about. She has her own problems because a woman that would fight for a man that has been cheating on you for the entire time that you know him has her own set of problems that she needs to resolve. It has nothing to do with that man. She has her own problems. It's not a self-esteem problem. She has more problems than that thing she keeps talking about that happened to her. She keeps waving it like a banner. And sounds like it doesn't even bother her because she talks about it so often. I never heard somebody talk about being victimized so often and so freely. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say about this Janaea Jaxn situation.